All right, here's a question for you. What if I told you that the quality of your friendships could literally change the direction of your life? Yep, you heard me right. The people you surround yourself with aren't just there to hang out. They shape who you are and who you'll become. So how do you choose the right ones? How do you find true, authentic friends while dodging the toxic ones that drain you? If that got your attention, you're in the right place. Welcome back to our new podcast, where we blend life lessons with language tips to help you thrive, communicate, and, most importantly, find your tribe. I'm Sophia, and today I've got my incredible co-hosts Lena and Sebastian with me. What's up, guys?
Hey, everyone. I can't tell you how excited I am for this episode. We're diving into something every single one of us needs to master: friendship. Whether you're in high school, navigating adulthood, or just moved to a new city, knowing how to choose true friends can literally change your life.
Absolutely. And trust me, this isn't your typical how to make friends chat. Nope. We're going deep. We're talking about the key qualities to look for in a friend, the biggest mistakes people make in friendships, and, wait for it, how to spot those toxic relationships that could be holding you back without you even knowing it.
And hey, if that isn't enough to keep you listening, we're throwing in a grammar lesson to sharpen your communication skills and teach you 5 vocabulary words you can use to sound like a friendship expert. Oh, and we've got a little twist at the end that could change how you look at all your friendships from here on out. So buckle up, because these next minutes might just shift the way you see your social circle forever.
So grab a coffee, find a comfy spot, and let's get into it. Because the people you choose to keep in your life can either lift you up or drag you down. Let's help you find the ones who'll lift you higher. So let's kick this off with the basics. What actually makes someone a true friend? I mean, we all have different types of friends, right? Maybe you have that friend you only see at work, or that one friend you always party with. But a true friend? That's someone different. So what should we be looking for?
Great question. For me, the first thing that comes to mind is trust. A real friend is someone you can confide in without hesitation, someone you know won't share your secrets or betray your confidence. Trust is like the foundation of a building. Without it, the whole thing crumbles, right?
Exactly. And along with trust comes loyalty. You need people in your life who stick around when things get tough. I'm talking about the ones who are still there when you're struggling, not just when you're winning. A loyal friend won't bail when you're going through a rough patch. They'll stand by your side through thick and thin.
Yes. And another key quality? Honesty. A true friend will tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You don't want someone who sugarcoats everything just to make you feel better, especially if you're heading down the wrong path. Real friends call you out, but in a way that's supportive, not hurtful. They care enough to be real with you.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of which, I'd add supportiveness to the mix. A true friend is your biggest cheerleader. They celebrate your successes and lift you up when you're feeling low. They're the ones who push you to follow your dreams, even when you doubt yourself. And that's not something you find in every friendship.
100%. And let's not forget about respect. Respect for each other's time, boundaries, and opinions. You don't have to be exactly the same as your friends, but mutual respect is non-negotiable. Without it, even the best friendships can fall apart.
Now that we've covered the good stuff, what makes a true friend, let's flip the script a little. What are some common mistakes people make in friendships? Because, let's be honest, we've all messed up at some point, right? I know I have.
Same. One huge mistake I see people make is expecting one friend to be everything. You know, putting all your emotional weight on one person, expecting them to be your therapist, your gossip buddy, your workout partner, your shoulder to cry on, and your go-to for everything. It's just too much. No one person can be your everything, and that kind of pressure can strain the friendship.
That's so true. I've also seen people fall into the trap of one-sided friendships. It's where one person is always the one giving their time, their energy, their support, while the other person just takes. And that can go on for years without you realizing it. But at some point, the giver starts to feel drained, and that's when things get messy. Friendships should be a two-way street, people.
Oh, definitely. And then there's the classic mistake of ignoring red flags. We've all done it, right? We hold on to friendships because of history. Oh, we've known each other since we were kids. Or they've always been in my life. But just because someone's been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they deserve to stay there. If they're negative or constantly draining your energy, it's time to reevaluate.
Exactly. Another one is avoiding difficult conversations. Sometimes we sense something's off, but instead of addressing it, we sweep it under the rug. Maybe you feel like your friend is being distant or taking advantage of you, but instead of talking about it, you just let it slide until resentment builds. And by the time you finally talk, it's a bigger issue than it needed to be.
Yep. And one last mistake I'd throw in is taking friendships for granted. We get busy, we forget to check in, or we assume our friends will always be there. But friendships need maintenance just like any other relationship. If you're not putting in the effort, don't be surprised if the friendship starts to fade.
All right, so now we get into the deep end. Toxic relationships. It's a tough subject, but it's one we need to talk about because toxic friendships can drain your energy, mess with your mental health, and leave you feeling worse instead of better. So what are the signs we need to look out for?
One huge red flag is constant criticism. If your friend is always putting you down, even in a joking way, that's not cool. A true friend is supposed to lift you up, not make you feel worse about yourself. If you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells, or that you're never good enough, that's a big warning sign.
Totally. And another one is emotional manipulation. This one can be sneaky because sometimes we don't even realize it's happening. It's when a friend tries to guilt trip you, control your actions, or make you feel responsible for their emotions. If someone is always making you feel bad for not doing what they want, or if you constantly feel like you owe them something, that's manipulation.
Exactly. And then there's the classic toxic trait, always playing the victim. In every situation, they're never wrong. It's always someone else's fault. And if you try to address an issue, they turn it around and make you feel guilty for even bringing it up. That's exhausting, and it's definitely not what you want in a healthy friendship.
Another one to watch out for is disrespecting boundaries. Toxic friends often don't care about your personal space or limits. They push you to do things you're uncomfortable with, or they take up too much of your time and energy without considering what you need. Boundaries are a key part of healthy relationships, and if someone keeps crossing them, that's a red flag.
And let's not forget about jealousy. If a friend can't celebrate your successes or is constantly comparing themselves to you, that's toxic. A real friend will be happy for you when you succeed. They won't feel threatened or try to downplay your achievements.
All right, language learners, it's time for a quick grammar lesson before we get back into the friendship advice. Today we're tackling one of the trickiest parts of English, who versus whom. It's a classic grammar mistake, but once you learn the rule, it's easy.
Totally. So here's the deal. Who is used as the subject of a sentence, the person doing the action? Whom is used as the object, the person receiving the action. A simple trick to remember is this. If you can replace it with he or she, use who. If you can replace it with him or her, use whom.
Let's try it with some examples. Who is calling? You'd use who because you'd say, he is calling. But when you ask, whom did you invite? You're using whom because you could say, I invited him. See how that works?
Once you get the hang of it, it's a great way to sound more polished and professional, especially in writing or formal speech. And honestly, using whom correctly is one of those little things that can make a big difference in how you're perceived.
All right, now that we've sharpened our grammar skills, let's add some new vocabulary to the mix. These 5 words are perfect for talking about friendships, and they'll make your English sound next level.
First up, altruistic. This means being selfless, caring more for others than yourself. You could say, my friend Lena is so altruistic. She's always putting others first and making sure everyone feels supported.
Oh, thanks. Next word, camaraderie. This is that sense of friendship and trust you feel within a group. You might say, The camaraderie between us as podcast hosts makes these episodes so much fun. It's perfect for describing those close-knit friendships where you feel like a team.
Love that one. Word 3, empathy. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. A true friend shows empathy when you're going through tough times. You could say, Sebastian always shows empathy when I'm having a hard day, and it makes all the difference.
Next, we've got vindictive. Be careful with this one. It's not a word you want to be associated with. It means having a strong desire for revenge or to get back at someone. You'd say, that argument made him act vindictive and it really damaged the friendship. Definitely a word to avoid in your personal relationships.
And last but not least, resilience. This means the ability to bounce back after tough situations. Our friendship has shown resilience because we've been through ups and downs but always come back stronger. It's such a powerful word for describing long-lasting relationships.
All right, we're almost at the end, but before we wrap up, here's the big tip we promised. The key to long-lasting friendships is constant communication and growth. Friendships aren't static. They grow, they change, and they need attention, just like any other relationship in your life.
That's so true. If you're not growing together, you might end up growing apart. And that's okay sometimes, but if you want to maintain those important friendships, you've got to put in the effort to communicate openly, forgive when needed, and adapt to life's changes together.
And don't be afraid to let go of toxic relationships. It's hard, especially when you have history with someone. But letting go of people who bring negativity into your life creates space for healthy, positive friendships that truly add value to your life.
Exactly. Choose friends who help you grow, who make you feel seen, and who celebrate your successes without jealousy. And remember, true friendship isn't about being perfect, but about being present, loyal, and supportive. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope this episode gave you some real insights into building stronger friendships and avoiding the pitfalls that can break them.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. And hey, share this episode with a friend who needs to hear these tips. It might just strengthen your bond even more.
And as always, keep learning, keep growing, and keep choosing friends who make your life brighter. We'll catch you next time.
Bye for now. And don't forget to learn the vocabulary and thoughts we taught you today.